Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's my thank you,
sock in it.
I said to Mark, as it's my birthday,
Matching.
can you go and get me some socks? And they're matching. He's lending me his most precious socks of all, his favourite socks. Hashtag not an ad. Hashtag wouldn't it be nice to get a bloody ad?
Hashtag sorry that there was an ad at the beginning of this.
So nobody wants to get anyone to do an ad that is anti-genocide.
Are we allowed to say who we were with last
Don't
night?
be anti-genocide. So thank you for those lovely socks. Hashtag not an ad. Bam. The best socks ever. Bamboo.
We're allowed to say who we were with last night?
Why not?
Who we were with last night?
Well, just talking.
Sorry, no,
I'm in the middle of saying something about socks.
But there was something related to what you were saying. Sorry, it wasn't. Happy birthday, darling.
Thank you. So
matching socks, BAM. No, you were saying about you want an advert from BAM.
No, I don't. That isn't what I was saying at all.
Right.
I was saying it's not an ad. The best socks. If you want to buy somebody a really nice Christmas present, this isn't an ad. I don't know why or how this is happening, but BAM socks are the best socks. And Mark has quite a lot of BAM socks, so it's quite a thing in this house. The dog steals them a lot, and he accuses us, and it's not us. But sometimes we do. Sometimes we steal them. But as it's my birthday, oh, you've put on your sweater. Are you too hot?
No, I'm not. I'm perfect temperature, darling.
But as it's my birthday, Mark has just allowed me to wear a proper pair of bamboo socks. A pair. Not even like odd socks.
You sound like you're on drugs.
You're What's the matter with me? I'm emotional.
So 1, 2, 3, guys. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
That's enough. Now stop.
No, I hate the way people get slower.
Stop now.
Stop.
It's boring.
Lots of people shouting happy birthday in the comments. It's
Thank you. That's
birthday.
So kind of you. Thank you. And I've had so much kindness. I've had so many lovely messages sent to me today from friends and colleagues, and yeah, just really lovely.
Have you had any from Zionists?
I've not looked at myself. I've not looked at my DMs yet.
I wonder what kind of hate and bile there is there. That would be joyful.
Michelle, thank you for your lovely message, and Jordan for my beautiful flowers. Thank you so much, and to Mark for my almond croissant this morning, your beautiful words, and my lovely coffee, and you're a lovely husband, and I'm very lucky. I am grateful, thank you.
Oh, well, sweetheart, we're all grateful too.
I am a very blessed woman.
Take the love, feel the love, embrace the love. Boy, oh boy, me and the girls have wanted to indulge you today. You're very hard to indulge. All you've said is, I want to go to the gym.
I've changed my mind on that one. Now I've had the almond croissant. I couldn't think of anything worse.
But yeah, anyway, so it's Nadia's birthday. I think I'd probably representing everyone in the room if I was to say, look, you are a remarkable woman. The last 2 years, and especially the last 6 months, have been difficult for everyone involved, but you've managed to be a beacon of stability, of support, of constancy, of compassion for not only people in your private life and your family and, you know, extended members of the family, but your dear friends, but also for an entire community. Everyone here, and also, you know, Palestine, and everyone and all the activists.
Palestine.
You know, so you know, you've stuck your neck out. You've stuck your neck out. It's come at a cost. So feel the love, know you're loved, and just make this year the year where you actually start to accept the love. I know it's difficult to make yourself vulnerable. We did a whole podcast about it. If you want to go and check it out,
I really do. I really feel it all the time, and it's another reason that I feel very blessed. And
you're a very special woman, Nadia Sawalha. You really are.
Well, visiting my friend yesterday who'd do anything for another month, for another 6 months, you know, I am just truly, truly, truly blessed to be 61. And don't let anyone say to you, oh, God, isn't it awful getting old? Oh, it would have been. It's not. It's not. We're so lucky to get older. We really are, with every year. It's another year of gratitude for me. That's all I can say.
And I know I'm speaking for Hannah, for Kaz, and for Tits, or Lady Tits, when I say that you have brought such a cohesive, transformational energy and love to those 3 women's lives and to the group. And so, you know, I mean,
I'm just worrying about people that just come to this and think what the hell we're talking about.
Well, fuck off. If you don't know what we're talking about, find out.
No. Anyway. I thank you.
Those of you who know.
But on today's news.
Yes. We're going to talk about some pretty serious shit now. Lots of people saying happy birthday.
Thank you.
And lots of people who do know who I'm talking to, the Fab Four. You know what they've been through, what they've gone through, and how they are such a unit. So yeah. So what are we going to talk about today, Nads? We're going to talk about Labour's asylum shake-up, appeals to reform. My God, Shabana Mahmood, she really has availed herself of just the most remarkable horror story. This is Labour's asylum story. We touched upon it yesterday. We're going to touch upon it again today. The United Nations has voted to allow the US to control Gaza. A bizarre vote for a bizarre decision. We're going to try and unpack some of that. And then a really quite dark story that came through this morning, a survey, just a shocking survey about a certain sort of practice, sexual practice that a too large a number of young women have said they've experienced. So read the title if you want to know what that's all about. And also, this is the week, we talked a lot about it yesterday. A lot of people were very engaged with it. It's the Epstein files, the vote on the Epstein files. And I suppose we haven't heard you sort of in recent days, weeks almost. Where are you on this? What do you think's happened for Trump to make this about turn? What's your theories?
Well, definitely the about turn where he's saying now release them all. I've always said release them. I haven't got a problem with releasing them. Is that he's got his back up against the wall. He has absolutely no other option than to do it. And I think what he will do is what hasn't been redacted, what hasn't been manipulated, he will just put down to fake news. The Democrats twisting it. It's been put in like he did. He's fronting this out. This is the meaning of fronting it out. He's tried absolutely everything else. He's now on his fingernails, and he is a down and dirty dog fighting survivor, and this is what we're seeing now. I think that's what I think.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just look forward to all the connections that are of course being made now to Epstein and certain members of the Israeli government and secret services.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we made a good point yesterday. The Epstein files are entirely inextricably entwined with Israeli foreign policy, intelligence, and control of America. You cannot extrapolate or separate the two. And yet at the bottom of the pile, it would seem, are the victims. And I just want to play this again. We played it yesterday. I want to play it for Nads to see in full. I'm not too sure if you saw it yesterday.
I did, yeah.
This is the video or the film that the victims of Epstein's grooming gang.
Just some of the thousands. Victims.
Just going to play it again.
I suffered so much pain.
So much pain.
So much pain.
I suffered so much pain. I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old.
I was 16.
17.
14 years old.
This is me.
This was me.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
There are about 1,000 of us.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
It's just, you know, and so the reason I wanted to sort of start with that and just
And
another
these are
reminder.
very brave, these women, to do this, because it was a question I had for a long time. It's like, if the girls know who they are, why don't they say who they are? Naively, I used to think that, but of course it's because they're totally terrified of what could happen to them. These are very, very powerful people that are involved in this, and so these ones, that are showing their faces like that. Don't underestimate the bravery it's taking to do that, and we don't hear enough from them.
And the vote is happening today. I mean, we talked at great length yesterday about what will be in the files. Have the files been altered? Have they been redacted? Have they been,
There's no way those files won't have been redacted.
If not redacted, well, certainly redacted, but you just wonder, where's the benchmark, or where's the kind of the original font of information so that we can all compare and contrast with
Because
what
they
there
can't,
was?
yeah.
We'll never know what there fully was.
Yeah. And who are the people that are redacting it? Because there's an awful lot of people that think an awful lot of things that we would find absolutely abhorrent is totally fine. So you better make sure you've got somebody redacting it that actually knows right from wrong and knows what is immoral and not. Because what is being said up front out loud in defense of Epstein by certain people, I just can't believe, because they're just oblivious that how wrong that is.
Absolutely. And yes, you're right, Mitra. Epstein is one of many different Epsteins around the world, but I don't think any grooming gang is quite so connected to the intelligence services and the governance of foreign nations to America. And
don't forget, America is the most powerful country in the world. So the connections into America are connects all of us, and decisions that are made for all of us without us ever knowing the machinations that are going on behind the scenes.
This is the problem. Debbie Tynan says, how do we know they haven't been rewritten? How will we know? How, what, again, the gatekeepers to the information are themselves untrustworthy. All of the people, the cash
some
patels
have
and everyone.
already seen. Marjorie Taylor Greene has already seen them. Has she not?
Yeah.
The girls, no. So, there's an awful lot of people that you're going to have to wipe out. There will be many FBI agents, and who knows? There are thousands of potential whistleblowers. And maybe there are some people that haven't wanted to speak up and have maybe thought, well, I'll wait for them to be revealed, and then if they're not, then I will come forward. We just don't know. And that's why it must be so scary for all these people that are involved, because they don't know which way the bullet could come from.
No, and also because I think most of the cases would end up becoming civil cases if they were to make public accusations. You only have to look at, I'm not drawing a connection in terms of anyone involved in this. Look at the case of Owen Jones being sued and Dropsite News being sued by the BBC editor, Rafi Berg, or, having been taken to court. The concept behind that is that the cost of taking an independent media outlet to the court could completely hamstring the independent media outlet. So take that idea and spread it to the victims of Epstein's, grooming gang. Of all those individual women, yes, could name, could accuse, but then they won't have any of the the financial backing to see this through court. So
and they're up against men that have the very best lawyers in the world, and then the ability to manipulate behind the scenes. There's so much corruption. And how can a girl, a woman who is, many of them whose lives have been completely fucking ruined, to stand up against that is very, very difficult. Though they're growing in strength of numbers, aren't they? As more and more of them come forward and are willing to have themselves named.
Absolutely. And also they are, I think lots of or hundreds, a sizable number of the victims are in Washington today. They're going to be doing a press conference at some point later today. The vote is happening in Congress today. I'm just going to play you this. We didn't have this yesterday available, but this is Trump's explanation on his reversal, on his decision to encourage all his Republicans to vote for the release of the files.
It has nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others. They're all Democrats. And I hate to see that deflect from the great job we've done. So I'm all for it. We've already given 50,000 pages. You do know that. Unfortunately, like with the Kennedy situation, with the Martin Luther King situation, not to put Jeffrey Epstein in the same category, but no matter what we give, it's never enough. With Kennedy, we gave everything and it wasn't enough. With Martin Luther King, we gave everything and it's never enough. We've already given, I believe the number is 50,000 pages. 50,000 pages.
The number of pages.
And it's just a Russia hoax as it pertains to the Republicans.
But it doesn't matter because
God,
all it
it's so
takes.
embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing because you might have given 50,000 Trump, but it might be just one page that completely incriminates
What
you.
a ridiculous argument. It's so
toddler.
embarrassing.
It's toddler logic.
50,000. We gave you 50,000 pages, 500,000 pages, millions.
But what about the 5
That's what
pages
it's
in the top
like.
drawer that have you with Bubba? God, the Bubba conversation.
Allegedly.
Well, we don't know who Bubba is.
It's
A lot
all
of people saying it was Ghislaine Maxwell's horse. Just on that note, we're going to move on to the topics in the title, but just finally, someone did ask Trump why his voice was so hoarse.
Question about Venezuela, but can I just first ask, the health of the president's always news. Your voice sounds a little rough. Are you feeling all right?
I feel great. I was shouting at people because they were stupid about something having to do with trade in a country, and I straightened it out. But I blew my stack at these people.
Well, it sounds like there's a follow-up there, but can I ask you about Venezuela? You suggested...
Sounds the what?
It sounds like...
Hang on a minute. What does blew my stack mean?
I don't know, but it sounds disgusting.
What a horrendous thought. What's his stack?
But all those sycophants, what you shouted and screamed, you lost your shit. How dangerous. And obviously it wasn't. Obviously it was about the Epstein files, because the line about a country and trade, it's like, what? You were screaming your fucking head off about the Epstein files and saying, how come we're in the middle of this shit? How come this wasn't sorted? It was about another country and trade.
I mean,
and now it's all sorted out because I lost my shit and screamed and shouted. Oh my God, it's so cringe.
He's worse than a 5-year-old. He really is. He really is. Okay. Well, look, moving over to this side of the pond. This was the headline yesterday that I discussed towards the end of Coffee Moaning. I couldn't believe this headline. Asylum seekers' jewellery could be seized to pay for processing costs, says Home Office Minister. Home Office Minister is Shabana Mahmood. We talked a lot about her when she conflated the psychopathic, anti-Semitic, lunatic nut job attack in Manchester to the peace marches against the genocide, and she then conflated. Was she part of the kind of lot that said that the Maccabi football hooligans should be allowed to come here? It was anti-Semitic that they weren't allowed to come here, etc. So she.
And let's not forget, years ago when it suited her, the marches that she was on for the Palestinians.
Absolutely.
Do you remember that?
Absolutely.
That's so cringe.
Yeah.
On the backs of the Palestinians, you climbed your way up and now you stand there. And for me, she is like, what Labour have done there is like what we've seen the Tories do so often. You get someone of ethnicity to spout your racist fascism because then that will make it okay.
I can't believe she doesn't realise she's being
so
played.
Obvious. She's totally being played. Or she is just a cold-hearted,
opportunistic careerist. Well, these are the headlines. So
I had to control myself.
Yeah.
What I was going to say. Did you say for the sake of decency, I calmed myself down.
Yeah, no, there's a great headline here. Look, Reform MP invites Mahmood to join his party, saying he welcomes and recognises her rhetoric. So basically, their ideas, Labour's ideas around asylum, the changing to the rules on asylum seeking, are so sort of right-wing or restrictive that Reform Party members are saying, wow, thanks.
You're our poster girl.
Thanks, Shabana.
You're our poster girl, Shabana.
Yeah. So I just want to play you what she said. She kind of was quite expletive in the House of Commons yesterday.
Just trying to, I just found
Have a listen to this.
Of walking around this country and not seeing the division that the issue of migration and asylum system is creating across this country. Unlike him, unfortunately, I am the one that is regularly called a and told to go back home. It is I who knows through my personal experience and that of my constituents just how divisive the issue of asylum has become in our country. And I do say to him, I wish it were possible to say that there isn't a problem here, that there's nothing to see, and that it is all, in fact, just extremist right-wing talking points. But this system is broken, and it is incumbent on all members of...
You're broken.
Isn't it?
You're broken. you're broken, you're broken. Do you think we are fucking stupid?
Yeah, so many.
You are causing division. Actually, let's play in Zach now.
I'm going to.
Because Zach's reaction to this,
Yeah.
this is what we want from our politicians. The right level of anger, not this fake shit that gets you over the bumps, you know, and with somebody with actually a moral code.
Trying to make herself the victim. Disgusting, River Whitefall. And also, just finally, I'm just going to play Zach Polanski now, but I would beg to differ with her. You know, she's saying there, look, to try and pretend this isn't a problem, this isn't a pressure, this isn't an issue. Your job is to tell the British public why it shouldn't be the issue. Your job is to unpick and reveal the fraud and the lies and the manipulation behind making this a major issue on the street. You don't just look at the streets and go, major issue on the streets, let's do what everyone else says that we should do. You actually go, hang on a minute, guys, you're being manipulated.
Yes.
But no, what you do is become the manipulator too. So you're right, let's go to Zach Polanski.
How would you describe these plans?
Well, we've just heard that rebellions are under the radar. That's not good enough. Every single Labour MP needs to look to their conscience.
Why?
The interview we just heard, you said it yourself. The question was, you never told anyone when they voted they were voting for this. This is extreme, this is inhumane, and it is a government of cowards. Rather than take on the powerful, because the issue here is not immigration, it's inequality. They went for pensioners, they went for the disabled, and now they're going for people who are fleeing war and conflict. I am furious. So many people are furious because this is a totally unconscionable way to deal with things. And how dare the minister say we are open, tolerant country? How dare she come tonight to Newsnight and talk about compassion at the same time they're talking about seizing people's assets? I am a child of Jewish ancestry. I am Jewish. We have seen this with Nazi Germany. We are seeing it in 2025. This government need to hang their heads in shame.
Okay.
Well, first of all, an asylum seeker who is coming over here cannot come over here illegally because we need safe and managed routes. And it's very clear across international law that anyone is able to find safe sanctuary in a country. France is a safe country, but Britain is also a safe country. Germany takes twice as many asylum seekers as Britain. The Home Secretary is making this country a more divided place. She talks about the racial abuse she's experienced, and that's awful. But we know that every time the Labour government parrot reform and bring in these sorts of policies, we know that hate crime rises. We know there are lots of people in this country, people of colour, who are not migrants, who are already feeling marginalised, who are already feeling in some places where they don't belong. We're having this whole conversation driven by Tommy Robinson and the Millionaire Reform Party.
Don't speak for people.
The Labour government.
Let him finish, and then I'll come back to you.
That the Labour government are emboldening this kind of rhetoric from reform, because I don't know what Keir Starmer's plan is here. If people want Nigel Farage and reform, if they want the kind of racism that Tommy Robinson is pushing when we've got Labour ministers saying deport, 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 and Tommy Robinson is saying the Overton window is obliterated, they'll vote for reform. They've got that choice. Migrants aren't destroying this country. Bankers are bankrupting this country. Fossil fuel giants, armed trades companies, they're the ones that are destroying this company. And ultimately, if we want to stop the small boats, and I want to stop the small boats, no one wants people risking their lives. I absolutely do. That's an outrageous thing to say. They are asylum seekers.
Why do you stop them? Why do you want to stop them?
Because I want people to be able to get
I thought we're an open and tolerant country.
safe and managed routes so they can apply for asylum. Because most asylum cases are seen to be legitimate, over 80% of cases. I want them to be able to come here to a processing centre in a way that is dignified and treats people with humanity rather than as numbers or pieces of crap, which is the way the Labour government are.
Thank you. That you can then then you can take, what was it? If they've got an e-bike, we're going to take their e-bike. I mean, we're going to take their car. What, are they bringing their car on the dinghy with them?
I mean, it's a fine line. Are you going to start taking gold teeth? I mean, the thing about this is that however one, the Labour Party can forever and a day say this is an issue, because it's become an issue because leaders, the Tories, Reform, people who've been given kind of like, people like Farage who are invited, the Reform sort of representatives are invited onto every single fucking show across the board.
Given so much
airtime. The papers, they keep promoting this idea of
mainstream media is making the same mistake as they did in America, which was to give hate speak, like they did with Trump, all the airtime.
So it's a totally fraudulent problem where we are focusing all of our frustration and ire, as he quite simply says. It's about the inequality of wealth. It's not about the migrant population of this country, which without most of our fucking services would not work anyway. I mean, I can talk with first-hand experience of the fact that my mum's care team are entirely a Muslim, you know, a package team of every single, there's about 16 people caring for my mum, all Muslim. They are all so respectful, friendly, tolerant, attentive,
How they
caring.
do it, I just don't know.
And then they go into houses, you know, and there was the report last
Treated
week
despicably.
where they're going into houses where people are aggressively sort of showing the St. George's flag. They're treated with racism. They're made to feel like outsiders, but we will keep taking from them. And then insulting.
We don't have anyone here that wants to, we don't have enough people here that will do that job for that appalling. I mean, that is, don't get me started on the whole care system and how appallingly these people are paid actually that do a job that is incredibly difficult as well. We can't function. We cannot function without immigration. Yes, there has to be. Let's not forget as well that it was the Tories that brought in the hotels. It was their system. It was their system. So yes, there needs to be discussion, but why is it always at the forefront and why is it always spoken about with such rage? It's if she really wants us to believe that she is not causing division, does she really think she's going to get that past us?
And the biggest
delivery
irony
is appalling.
The biggest irony here is since Brexit, when we were part of Europe, it was a shared load. It was a shared responsibility. It was dealt with in a kind of divided sort of fashion. And now, because we don't want any involvement, we want to come out of the European Court of Human Rights, we want the freedom to, it's just, you can't, for example, you can't support, as our government has, by stealth, a genocide in a part of the world and not expect there to be migratory consequences or asylum-seeking consequences. Something we entirely accept when we take in 250,000 white Ukrainians. It's fine when it's a particular type of migrant, but when it's another type, this is nothing other than racism.
Look at our part in Afghanistan.
This is nothing other than racism.
Look at our part in Afghanistan.
And I think
for how many years?
Your point is so strong. The time and again we have governing parties who take and use representatives of ethnic minorities as cloud cover to pursue really egregious racist policies.
Yeah.
It's just awful.
Blame the billionaires, guys, not these people on.
Look,
they are not your enemy, right? They are not.
We've been fed lies. This is a Green Party carousel.
And
told to blame migrants for collapsing public services, living standards, scarce resources to distract from the real culprits. Duke of Westminster, 10 billion. Jim Ratcliffe, 23 billion. Denise Coates, 7 billion. These are the real villains. It's not migrants draining the country. It's the Duke of Westminster inherited nearly 10 billion tax-free while government imposed austerity starved public services.
Why are they tax?
Jim Ratcliffe, whose 29.7 billion fossil fuel fortune has driven a climate crisis, is jacking up our food and energy bills.
Thank you.
Denise Coates, who earned 158 million last year from a gambling empire that destroys lives. In 2023, British billionaires added 35 million pounds a day to their individual wealth. Migrants, 1 in 6 NHS workers were born abroad. They're a strength, not a strain.
Those in power will have you believe that every single problem is to do with those people on those boats.
As Arsenal Troll says, come on, us poor people need to blame other poor people. That's all it is. And the thing is, why can't people see that for what it is? Why can't people just see it for what it is?
But it's shifting because mainstream media is not the only voice now, is it? That's the manipulation. The like multi-pronged, hand in hand, haven't they?
But this is backfiring spectacularly. Once again, the Labour Party completely out of step with humanity. Corbyn and Polanski condemn UK's plans to seize jewellery from asylum seekers. Here's Corbyn. Removing asylum support, seizing belongings, deporting entire families, including children. Labour are not just paving the path to a reform government. Reform may as well already be in power. This government has no moral compass and it should be ashamed of its inhumanity.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Moving on. United Nations. The United Nations. We said yesterday there was the huge vote at the UN on Trump's post-genocide, or kind of carve up 20 point peace plan for Gaza.
22,000 million.
22,000 million.
Such child.
Oh yeah, we've got
22,000 million points.
Yeah, we had 21 points.
Yeah, how many points did you have?
Look at the interesting way the New York Times reports it. In major breakthrough, UN Security Council adopts US peace plan for Gaza. Russia and China abstained, which provides a legal mandate for the Trump admin's vision of how to move past the ceasefire. Hang on, not how to move past the ceasefire. As I said yesterday, how to move past the genocide and retrospectively legitimize the genocide. That's what this is about. This is a band-aid.
The genocide couldn't have happened without America and the billions of dollars they spent on it. Now they're going to stand back and receive the applause for this fake bloody ceasefire, and then the billions of dollars that they're going to make out of building up Gaza, ravaging Palestine of all the riches that it has, and the world is supposed to stand by and applaud them. Well done for the ceasefire and your 20-point.
I mean, The Guardian has the grace to record it as one of the oddest UN resolutions in history, seeks to solidify shaky Gaza ceasefire into an enduring peace. Now this, why it's so, and I'm just going to play you what the American representative at the UN said as it was passed.
Negotiated language in the 20-point plan. This resolution charts a possible pathway for Palestinian self-determination after the Palestinian Authority has completed the necessary reforms, where rockets will give way to olive branches, and there is a chance to agree on a political horizon. It dismantles Hamas's grip. It ensures Gaza rises free from terror's shadow, prosperous and secure.
Wow, from the terror's shadow. So what are you going to do with the boot of the IOF over their heads?
Exactly.
That shadow, where's that shadow going?
So there are so many aspects to this that are so complicated and weird, and it's fucked up. And the Guardian's right to call it one of the oddest UN resolutions ever. Now, you're right, Michu. China and Russia were the only countries that had the veto on this. They didn't. They abstained. Their argument for abstaining was because they saw that there was huge support for this from Muslim Arab nations. Now, the support from the Muslim Arab nations was contingent on, in the wording of this resolution, there being an allowance made for the eventual establishment, potentially, possibly, maybe in the future, you never know, it might happen, could be, maybe, of a Palestinian state, which is about the closest America has ever come to saying that. Because let's not forget, the only people who really don't want a two-state solution is Israel. Netanyahu and his government do not want a two-state solution.
They will not allow it.
And they will not allow it. So we have a really curious situation where an imperfect solution, this UN resolution, I describe it as a retrospective legitimization and justification of a genocide. That's what I see this as. It's like everyone is saying, turn forward and let's go towards the light. Well, hang on a minute. No,
hang on a minute.
I really want to go forward, but there's a fucking shithole over here that you've decimated.
And it's still continuing on every single day.
We also talked over the weekend about the red zone and the green zone, the way in which Israel and the US control 58% of Gaza. Gaza has become an even smaller strip, which is topped and tailed with Israeli reach now to the coast, so it's even more constrained. All of the Palestinians are in the red zone. Israel and America are currently developing already the green zone by pushing the rubble into the red zone, into where the Palestinians live. So
look at the way the green zone, red zone,
green zone, red zone, danger, green zone,
red zone.
And yet, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Not everyone in Israel is happy about this, of course. Ben Gvir, that rabid nutcase, Ben Gvir has called for Abbas's arrest. He's the head of the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank. If the UN advances in its Palestinian state recognition, This guy is calling for the assassination of the Palestinian Authority representative. So whilst America says the Palestinian Authority needs to engage in reforms to reach a Palestinian state,
they're talking to them, and
this fucking nut job comes out and
Who's
says,
in the government?
Kill them all.
He's an illegal settler.
He says, kill them all.
We need to kill them. He couldn't. We're laughing because it's just so unbelievable.
Yeah, and
that he gets to say that
Yeah.
on the international stage.
And guess who's reporting it? None of the Western
But
media
hey,
is reporting
they want
this.
to relieve the Palestinians of the shadow of terror that they live under.
The West Bankian Palestinians are living under the constant terror of settler terrorism. But listen to this. This is the oddest part of everything to do with Israel's continuing genocide and oppression of the Palestinians. It's the Times of Israel reporting this. None of our papers are. Ben-Gvir calls for Abbas's arrest if the UN advances Palestinian state recognition. He's also said that whilst Mahmoud Abbas should be placed in solitary confinement, senior Palestinian Authority officials should be targeted for assassination if the UN advances in recognizing a Palestinian state. I mean, there's only one participant in this that really doesn't want a solution, and it's Israel. Even though America's UN resolution that's been voted, so we've got this weird situation where this is imperfect, it's skewed and it's wrong. It pays a kernel of kind of reference to a possible future Palestinian state, but even that has enraged Israel, and Israel aren't going to observe it, like they don't observe anything the UN says. Ridiculous.
Johnny, I'm not certain this is the most relaxing night for your birthday.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, we're going to now move to a really horrid topic. Okay,
but
so
a very important one.
Yes.
Because as I said on my story on Instagram, this is the sort of thing that parents want to turn away from, but actually you have to turn towards it and have the conversation or send the article to your kids and say, just have a read, because the porn industry has infiltrated our young people's lives. It has infiltrated and make what is not natural and normal and safe sound like it is or feel like it is. And we have to have this conversation. It's not just with the girls, it's with the boys that have been led to believe that this is okay, and it's not.
I just want to read the headline for those listening on podcasts. So this is a headline in the Guardian. Nearly half of sexually active young people in the UK have experienced strangulation, study
just
shows.
Petrifying.
It's a sidebar comment. I don't know if did anyone catch the Men of the Manosphere documentary on BBC Three last night?
Watch that later.
I think we should watch it. I wanted to kind of do a review of it, but we were busy last night. So this is a really quite shocking survey. Survey reveals the crisis of distress, consent issues, and physical harm caused by strangulation during sex. And it's the statistics of this that made it stand out for us to discuss. Obviously, we always used to do kind of parenting podcasts. We do a marriage podcast for anyone who doesn't know. So, this really kind of speaks to just some really troubling kind of elements in family life. More than 2 in 5 sexually active under 18-year-olds in the UK. So get that. That's almost half of under 18-year-olds in the UK have either been strangled or have strangled someone during sex, research has found. Despite the serious dangers, choking, as it's commonly known, has become normalized in young people's sexual habits. Yeah. And this is a study. Sad. This is a study by a charity, is it, called the Institute for Addressing Strangulation, and it showed that 43% of sexually active 16 and 17-year-olds have experienced it. More than half of people under the age of 35 have experienced it, with nearly a third wrongly believing there are safe ways to strangle someone.
And this is where I was really shocked, because I had no idea of this. If you go down to what can happen, even just a minute can have lifelong effects, because the brain, a minute of have you got them there actually? Rather than me paraphrasing it, let's actually read it, because I was really shocked by this. In reality, right, okay. So respondents in the survey often linked strangulation during sex to enhanced orgasms or pleasure, but in reality, that sensation may be the result of brain cells being deprived of oxygen. And once those cells die, they cannot regenerate. The truth is that strangulation, and especially repeated strangulation, increase the risk of nerve damage, damage to the brain, which increases your risk of stroke and even death. What might feel like a fleeting moment can have consequences that last a lifetime, even causing depression.
Jesus
the death
Christ.
of those brain cells.
Everything about this is just horrendous.
It's just horrific. I didn't realize, I mean, of course it's horrific. And of course, God, it could be taken too far and you could die.
Yeah.
But even just the repeated action of it,
Right.
if you've got enhanced pleasure, that is actually the effect of brain cells dying.
I mean, has anyone
It's so serious.
Has anyone had any experience of this? I mean, is
Well,
it?
I don't think anyone should say here,
Well,
to
maybe
be
not.
honest. I don't say it on a public forum, honestly, just don't. Because it's
it might
it's so creepy and dangerous and just no.
It might explain, says Mark Anderson, it partially explains why some men over here at least are the way they are on other issues.
Well, I mean, the porn industry is driving so much misogyny,
shocking,
isn't it?
Janina?
And young boys, this is why this is important to have this conversation with boys as well, because it is the other way. They can be strangled the other way as well. This isn't just girls being strangled. This is either way. And also, you could end up killing somebody by accident. Like there was one, I think it was a different article on this I was reading this morning, and this girl she could feel herself like going. She went into a fit. She could feel her legs kicking. She had a fucking fit, and then came round. She was unconscious, and then she came round, and the guy was saying, "God, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. I could get in real trouble." She didn't tell anyone. She didn't go to hospital. Because the thing is, you must go to hospital. If you have that feeling of loss of consciousness, you must go to hospital. This is the other thing you're saying. You just think, God, the numbers are scary. The amount of people that have experienced this, isn't it?
No, absolutely.
And I bet, I think if you spoke to, I mean, we're always very open with our girls and we talk about all this sort of stuff, but a lot of kids just have got no idea that this is not these actions are not the norm.
No.
And they might just do it because they think, well, that's what you have to do. It's part of it. You know?
Shauna Roche says, I experienced this in a relationship 10 years ago before my marriage. I was intoxicated and he tried to justify it the next day. When they grow up with it, they think it's normal.
Yes.
Stephanie 3 Rose, I've had these conversations, but we'll be sharing this. It's in the Guardian. I'll pop a direct link to the article underneath this in the description box. Only 3 minutes without oxygen and you can be brain dead, says Murder, She Wrote.
So if you think about, this is what they're saying, if you're repeatedly doing this and you're getting that high, that sensation that increases your orgasm, I always think, God, how good do you want bloody orgasm to be? But those like moments over and over again, you are actually killing your brain.
This statistic, among those who'd engaged in strangulation, only 38% said they'd done it because they enjoyed it, with the most common reason being their partner's enjoyment. At 46%.
I wonder even how much the partner might be pretending they're enjoying it. It's everybody, the bloody porn industry, but they are making it illegal. By the end of the year, it is illegal to show strangulation sex. That's how serious a problem it is for actual action to be being taken. That's how serious
and very unusual to have targeted action on a particular act.
Of course, it will make no fucking difference because the porn industry doesn't give a shit.
Pornography featuring strangulation and suffocation is to be outlawed in the UK by the end of this year, with a legal requirement placed on all tech platforms to prevent users from seeing such material.
It's interesting, right? For them to actually take action. So
really
I think it's really worth having a conversation. The thing to do is...
I've got some interesting comments coming in. Just Christine Beck, my husband's co-worker was telling that he did this with his partner, and when he released her, he thought she had stopped breathing. He never did it again. And Fiona Hennessy, I'm pleased you said that. That's just awful, Christine. Jesus. Fiona, fair play to you for bringing up this topic. It's so important for us to educate our young people. Choking is not normal. And it's interesting that you should say fair play for bringing it up, because it's so shocking that one even feels that when I sent it to Nadia this morning when I saw it, you want to look away. One thinks, oh God, this is too much. It's too much. But actually, it's that kind of ends up compounding the problem.
You play into the game here,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's with your kids' game. But so what I would say is, and this obviously very much depends on the age of your child and your own embarrassment, there are different ways that you can approach this conversation with your kids. You can hand them the link to this, to this article and say, you know, we don't have to discuss this. Just have a read of this. Homework for the day. Just have a read of it. If you've got any questions, you can ask me them. But if you don't want to ever talk about it again with me, that's fine. But look into this. There is another way where you just casually mention it while your teens are around, and so like you Mark and I have done this in the past, and we go, God, have you seen this? This is like da da da. Or you lower your voice a bit, and then they want to listen. You go, oh my God, have you seen this? Oh my God, and then they want to listen in. Another, if you've got a really open relationship with your kids, and you can say, God, just do you know anything about this? God, and so like you're not, you know, berating them. You're wanting to have a conversation where maybe they could tell you some stuff, and then they feel a bit more empowered in the conversation. But the one thing I would really, really recommend you don't do is go, right, this, because if they're ever in trouble, they ain't going to talk to you. You're going to be the last person.
And also just on that, I mean, Murder, She Wrote raises an interesting thought that I just want to sort of maybe clarify a little detail on. Any partner who can get enjoyment through observing their loved one's fear is not right in the head. I'm totally right, absolutely, of course. But the point I think about this that's so dangerous is I think it's presented in an intimate situation more often than not by men as intensity
of a relationship,
as a heightened experience,
as like
as a
real
better
passion.
Experience. And I don't want to talk about the details, but I know someone years ago who tragically lost their life through self-asphyxiation, actually, which is, if you think about it, as a form of, you know, he did it to himself. And it was just so tragic. He was so young. It was an accident, and he passed away. It was just, you know, it's not necessarily, I suppose what I'm trying to say is you've got to talk to your kids in a way that this won't be presented as, this won't happen to them necessarily as an aggressive thing or something to see fear. This will be presented as something that's as you rightly say, intoxicating and intensifying.
And you know, the other thing, whenever I share stuff with our daughters, I am also, you know, it takes a village. It's like we can think beyond our own families and our own children. And I like to give them tools to have really good conversations with their friends. You know what I mean? So they can talk in an informed way. If we don't just think about our own children, but we think of all of the children, it's a better way to spread it. And yeah, we all want to look away, but real parenting is sometimes, not always, but sometimes staring right into the fire of something and going, right, okay, this is tough, but
I'm just going to share this. Louise Pritchard, we're in court next week after our daughter's ex did this to her last year. She lost consciousness and knew what he was doing. Oh my God, Louise, I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, Louise.
Wow.
But you know what? How unbelievably brave of you as a family to do that. Because it's not easy. It's really not easy to take on a case. So, oh my God, we are sending you all our love. Louise. Yeah. Wow. Oh, my God. You know what? We sit here day in, day out, don't we, talking to you as a community. And obviously we know so many of your names day in, day out, and we share lots of different things. And it just goes back to that thing. You never know what people's private hell is. You don't. And how are you? Oh, I'm fine.
You share
we
so
never
much
know
with
what's
us.
going
It's
on.
just, wow. Sending you love, Louise. Wow.
Please share this article. Mark's going to put it on.
I'll add it to the description box as soon as this is processed. So, yeah, guys.
And thank you again for your birthday wishes.
Okay. And
you might think, oh, that's a terrible thing to have to do on your birthday.
I did say not to do it.
But no, you did. But I like to, everything that I like, our work is our passion. It's not like we're going and digging potatoes up with our bare hands. We are doing, our work is something that we really, really love, and that life is short on this weird fucking planet of ours. And to every day do a little something, or to have a conversation that maybe just passes on another conversation, is what I love to do. So I'm just doing what I love to do on my birthday.
Yeah. And I see that I don't know who Lewis is related to, but a happy birthday to Lewis too.
Oh, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lewis. Happy birthday to you.
And Zoe now wants a almond croissant.
Oh my God, Zoe, not if you felt as sick as I do. I had a massive 1.5 and now I feel very unwell.
Yes, be careful.
It was so delicious. Blackbird Bakery. Hashtag not an ad. Hashtag you don't get ads if you're anti-genocide. Blackbird Bakery does the best almond croissant.
And just a note for members, I just see Janine, Amory going up. We're doing a No Name Sunday show tomorrow night, Wednesday evening. Okay? Lots of love, guys. Bye.